We are home of independence, fearless and credible journalism. Hello and welcome to News Today with me, Emefa Akosiadati. And in our headlines today, High Court nullifies Kpandai 2024 parliamentary election, orders fresh poll in 30 days.
For us, our case before the court was very simple. We had a rogue electoral commission district electoral officer who decided to abuse discretion.
Also, the U.S. rescinds President Trump's 15% tariff on Ghanaian cocoa and other major agricultural products. The reversal is expected to generate about $60 million in extra revenue for Ghana each year. Also, Joy News checks reveal that some traders at Makola Market are altering expiry dates on beverages and food products before selling them to unsuspected consumers.
Women, they bring the goods to them. At times, they use spirits, retarder, kerosene, any good solvent that can clean these dates.
We'll hear from the Food and Drugs Authority on this growing phenomenon. For these and more, please stay. We appreciate your company this afternoon. First in the news, egg glut is worsening as Greater Accra Poultry Farmers Association accuse market women of refusing to reduce prices despite lower farm gate rates, raising fears of looming collapse in the country's poultry sector. The association says although farm gate prices have dropped with crates now selling around 40 Ghana cedis and 45 Ghana cedis, many market women continue to sell eggs at high retail prices. They argue has created a sharp disconnect between production and as well as selling.
The farmer has reduced its price of eggs from the farm gate, but the market queens are not prepared to reduce them. Because look, these market queens bear no risk at all. They bear no risk at all. What is it? They don't pay for cash. They come and take them, sell them, and bring you money. They take it, maybe say 45 cedis from the farm gate. The last count, somebody was giving me an information that there are places that they saw eggs on the table around 75 cedis. What do you think? It's on the too much on the high side. Even the farmer do not earn that kind of margin per crate. As of last Wednesday, for the last survey that we did from our members, we over 38,000 crates sitting on farms. They are not off-takers. The market queens are not being fair to the farmer.
CEO Ali Mohammed, Greater Accra Poultry Farmers Association, joins me via Zoom this afternoon. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. The situation is concerning. How are farmers coping with the situation?
Okay, good afternoon, Joy News. I want to say a very good afternoon to everybody and all the farmers across Ghana. Okay, so point of correction, I'm the CEO of AAI Unity Farms, Doma Hinkro.
You're CEO of what?
AAI Unity Farms, Doma Hinkro.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Doma Hinkro. So we have egg glut in most of our farms in Ghana because we have not formalized our sector. The poultry sector needs to be formalized. And we need a poultry authority to regulate the DOCs that enters the country and the consumption of the spent layers. So we need to regulate the number of DOCs or DO chicks that produce the eggs for us. So currently, we do not have data on the number of eggs we consume every day, every week, or the whole year. So if we have all those information, we'll be able to formalize it and then make a poultry authority so that we can work ahead. If not, we are fighting a loose battle. And right now to another situation is with the market women in Accra and most of the cities. They buy the eggs from us around 30 cedis, 35, and then they are selling around 65 or 70. That is our biggest problem too. They need to reduce for the final consumers to have a much bigger purchasing power.
Right, but is it that you're producing, the layers are producing more eggs than we've been consuming, or it's just because of the price? The consumption rate is the same, but we are not able to afford it?
The most important thing is that there have been a lot of new entrants of farmers. And I also learned there are a lot of Chinese that have entered the market that are producing eggs in Accra. That is also another challenge. That's what I'm saying, that we need to formalize our sectors so that we'll be able to regulate the amount of day-old chicks for layers that enters the country. We need to know the number of eggs we consume every day for us farmers to produce for the country.
That's
not,
quite a long term. That's quite a long term. But what do you seek for immediate intervention? Do I still have you? Well, let's get more insights on the situation from...
I'm here.
Okay. Well, thank you for staying with me. But what you're proposing is quite a long term. What immediate intervention are you seeking then? Okay, I'll now take you to the Bono region as well to get a fair idea of how it's also happening over there, as we have poultry farmers as well over there. I think that I have you back, but let me know again. So I was asking whether your proposal is quite a long term. Of course, regulating a particular sector will require some laws and some, processes that will have to go through Parliament and all. But what intervention do you seek? Because the eggs are quite sitting there. What intervention, immediate ones, are you seeking?
So right now, we had a president saying the senior high school headmasters should buy from the pot farmers to feed their students. That's also an important part. We thank him for that. But the market women in our cities, we are pleading with them that they should reduce the price for the Ghanaian people to enjoy eggs. Eggs are cheaper and they are still cheaper. But then they are making double profits. That is why most of the eggs are still in our farms. So we are pleading with them to, reduce the price at the market for the final consumers to have a very big purchasing power, to buy more. Eggs have good source of protein, so at least they should reduce it for the people in the cities to buy.
Okay.
Yeah, and we want to encourage the president to make or ensure that the headmasters and other schools buy from the farms to feed the students. At least if they are feeding the students every day or every twice in a week to feed the students, at least we are going to avoid that situation for now, for the meantime. But the long term, as I was talking about, is to formalize the economy, the poultry sector, in order to make sure that every farmer's eggs are being bought from the farms.
Thank you so much. Let's also get more insight on the situation from the Bono region. Ahmed Akwesi Ibrahim is a poultry farmer based in Doma as well. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. So you are a poultry farmer as well, but paint a picture for us. What's the situation like on ground?
Right now, yesterday I was talking to you, only my farm, we had about 8,000 crates. After packaging about 6,000, I'm still left with 2,000 eggs there. I need to find people to buy. At least previously, I used to sell those eggs around 50 or 45 cedis at the farm. But right now, I'm selling around 30 cedis or 32 cedis for people who want to sell in Burkina or Ivory Coast for me. So the Ghanaian market has collapsed, and we don't know why it is so. But people are suggesting that there have been an influx of Chinese who are doing farms in the Volta region and the Greater Accra parts that is affecting the egg production in Ghana. Okay.
Well, thank you for bringing this to attention as well.
All right.
Away from that, Ghana is set to gain a major financial boost as the United States reverses the 15% tariff previously imposed by President Trump on cocoa, Ghana's cocoa, and several key agricultural exports. The decision, which took effect on November 13, is expected to earn Ghana an additional $60 million annually. The tariff rollback also covers products such as cashew, avocado, pineapple, and ginger, offering wider relief to Ghana's agricultural sector. Government officials say the move strengthens trade ties with the world's largest importer of cocoa products. Now, let's break it down on how the $60 million will roll in. And on your screen is annual export earning from cocoa is $244 million. And the source is the Ghana Statistical Service. That's how much we make. And also for the reversal, U.S. reverses 15% tariff on Ghana. Average annual cocoa exports to Ghana will be 78 KMT. And this is also the Ghana Statistical Service. And as well on your screen, export of cocoa to U.S. Let's tell you how much that will make an impact on Ghana. Will be $5,300 metric tons if we do export as well. And annually, we shall be making $60 million if we this is the estimated revenue in savings on this 15% that they have lifted off the tariff that President Trump has lifted off. That's just about the figure that we'll be working with. But away from that, the Tamale High Court, presided over by Justice Emmanuel Brew Plunge, has annulled the parliamentary election results for the Kpandai constituency and ordered a fresh poll within 30 days following a successful legal challenge. A petition was filed by NDC candidate Daniel Nsala Wakpal, who claimed that the December 7, 2024 election was tainted by serious irregularities. He alleged inconsistencies in Form 8A, the pink sheet, which you know as that, from 41 polling stations out of the total 152, arguing that these breaches violated Regulation 39 and 43 of the Public Elections Regulation, CI 127. In its ruling, the court agreed that non-compliance with electoral regulations materially affected the integrity of the vote. It has accordingly ordered the Electoral Commission to conduct a rerun of the parliamentary election in the entire constituency. In his judgment, Justice Plunge intervened decisively, demanding that the EC restore credibility by organizing a transparent repoll. Here is lawyer for the petitioner, NDC's candidate, Daniel Nsala Wakpal, and Tanko Rashid Computer, Deputy Director of Elections for the NDC.
We must say that we are grateful to the court. We are grateful to counsel who assisted. As I introduced them, myself, Counsel Musa Mohammed, we had Eugene Aweti, we had George Adagbaja, and among others. For us, our case before the court was very simple. We had a rogue electoral commission district electoral officer who decided to abuse discretion. Now, what is important, and why this case is significant, is that at every district election collation center, there are certain rights that are preserved for the candidates. Now, when the polling station closes, you move to the district collation center, and that's the parliamentary collation center, and certain things can be done there, including asking for a recount of even the polling station. Now, when you say that there are disturbances at the collation center, the law is clear that you either adjourn it to the next day or you can adjourn it even for a week.
For having done justice to the good people of Kpandai. All along, the NDC has been saying that there are several crooked electoral officers who are bent on stealing people's mandate. And one of it is what has been exposed today. We said it time and again that the seat of Kpandai was the seat for the NDC. They rigged the election, and we've been saying it time and again that we will continue to expose crooked electoral officers who will continue to rig election. We will stop them. We will make sure that the NDC will prevent such rigging machinery of the then MPP and their crooked collaborators in the Electoral Commission.
The sitting member of Parliament for Kpandai is Matthew Nyindem of the New Patriotic Party, who was declared the winner in the December vote, and his lawyer Sylvester Isang says though they disagree with the decision, they will respect the court. Sylvester Isang has filed for an appeal and stay of execution.
In the heat up to the trial, we heard of several things, and we didn't take them for granted. We believe that the petition was frivolous, but the court has decided otherwise. So we respect the decision of the court, but we strongly disagree with the judgment, and we have already shown our aggrievement by filing a competent notice of appeal, and we've added a motion for stay of execution. As a lawyer, if you have picked certain information that judgment will be compromised, you prepare. So you come for the judgment with a notice of appeal in your pocket. And that was exactly what I did. And I had a section of my client that he should be bold, whatever decision that is affirmed, because we knew that was what was going to happen. So it's not even surprising at all. And so the only fight left for us is to follow the due process of the law, and that is by filing a notice of appeal.
I want to put it on record that I'm still their MP. Although, like the lawyer said, we were in court, and before we came to court, I can say for sure that for about a week, we knew that things were not going to be right. Our opponents were jubilating. They were saying all manner of things in Kpandai, and they were too sure that this is the judgment they were going to get. But as law-abiding citizens, I want to put on record that, yes, we respect what the judge has said. We vehemently disagree with him. I know that I won the election with a difference of 3,734. That is a clear victory. And if you look at the pink sheets, it's on record that they've admitted that every single pink sheet was given to all the political parties. I have my 152 pink sheets. They have their 152 pink sheets. And if you put the results together, we have won the elections. For some reasons, powers that may be, they decided to come to court, and knowing very well that maybe they'll be able to use the state's powers to overturn certain things. But I think that we are in a country that is governed by laws.
A former member of parliament for Tamale Central, Inisa Fiseni, has warned that attempt to place the office of the special prosecutor under the authority of the Attorney General could undermine Ghana's anti-corruption architecture and restore impunity for politically powerful officials. His comments come amid recent tensions between the AG and OSP, which have been playing out publicly over issues such as case docket and extradition procedures in the Kenoforiata case. Speaking during an X-Space yesterday, the former MP said the OSP was deliberately established to be independent because the AG, as a political appointee and member of government, was traditionally seen as incapable of prosecuting fellow cabinet members or ministers and government officials without political interference.
There are lanes. Now, the special prosecutor cannot come under the directive of the Attorney General because that will defeat the purpose for which the office was created. And that purpose, is better, for want of a better expression, or it bears repeating, is that the office, the Attorney General was incapable of prosecuting members of cabinet and government appointees and other ministers of state, principally because they are colleagues or members of the government. And government will look bad if the Attorney General is seen going after his own members. So the Attorney General lacks the balls to go after his own members. That was the perception. That was what we all saw, and that was what the MPP manifesto of 2016 was seeking to cure. So if you bring the Attorney General, the Office of the Special Prosecutor under the Office of the Attorney General, then you go back to the status quo ante, because it will mean that the Attorney General will direct prosecution. And so the establishment of the office will, to all intents and purposes, be of no use.
He further urged the special prosecutor must have the courage to investigate even those who appointed him, and that of the office's independence is essential for serving the national interest.
You need a special prosecutor who will demonstrate the courage to go after those persons in the office who appointed him in the first place. You need that Attorney General, Office of the Special Prosecutor, to go after even his appointors. So the Attorney General must have the courage of conviction that what he's doing serves a higher national interest. You need that. And it doesn't matter who appointed him into office. He will pursue his mandate.
The former Finance Minister, Kpandai, has challenged his Interpol Red Notice for the second time, leading to the notice being temporarily hidden from public view on the Interpol website. Addressing questions during yesterday's X-Space, Director of the Office of the Special Prosecutor, Samidako, reiterated that the temporary reduction does not mean the notice has been removed. He insisted the red notice remains active and enforceable, and any attempt by Oforiatta to travel to another jurisdiction could result in immediate arrest.
Wait, and then we will go through the motions. Recently, there was this talk about Mr. Furiata being deleted from the Interpol red notice, which I think the office had earlier clarified that was misinformation and, of course, propaganda, because the stakes are high, and you also expect that those who are the other side will also do everything they can to see that or to create mistrust in the OSP. But what has just happened is that Mr. Furiata has challenged his red notice. This is not the first time he's challenging it. He's challenged it before, and he was not successful. He's challenged it again. And Interpol, doing such cases, when they are going to go into it, they will temporarily block visibility from the public.
Now, addressing concerns of a conflict of interest in the probe into lawyer Martin Pebu's allegation against Special Prosecutor Kisi Ejabin, Samidako told the public at the Q&A on X that the law requires the office to investigate all corruption complaints, regardless of who is involved. He stressed that Kisi Ejabin has no role in the investigative committee and dismissed claims of any conflict of interest.
We are bound by law to do our work. We are to investigate as a primary investigator of corruption and corruption-related offenses in Ghana. As for freedom of speech, everybody has it. So when he talks about incompetence, it's not a subject that will even bother anyone at the office of the Special Prosecutor, because he himself, what is the competence? He has made specific allegations of corruption against the SP and against the office. One of them, I'm told, is that he said that the office has connived with Ken Oforiatta. Not that he has deduced, not that he thinks if you put one or two together, the office has connived. He made categorical statement, and I'm told twice or something, that, and he made specific allegation that the Special Prosecutor is corrupt in things that he had done. And once we are the body that has to investigate corruption, naturally, to build trust and credibility in the system, we would invite you. So it's not just Martin People who is coming to our office. Several people have come to our office who have made allegations of corruption. We must separate the head of the agency from the agency. People think that the office is all about Honorable Kisi Ejabin. No. The office, if he will tell you, when he went there, he didn't see Kisi Ejabin as part of the process. Even the letter inviting him, it was not signed by Kisi Ejabin, nor even the deputy. So there is nothing like Kisi Ejabin involved in this process. It's a special team that has been set up to go into allegations of corruption. And some people have said that it will mean being a judge in your own court. And I'm like, let me give you a typical example. Allegations have been made in the fire service against the head of the fire service. They will go and call immigration to come and look into it. No.
Away from the OSP, the Ghana National Fire Service is cautioning factories and other critical facilities not to depend solely on fire hydrants to fight outbreaks, citing the erratic water supply from Ghana Water Limited. This follows a devastating fire that gutted a plastic processing company over the weekend at Wejakbawe. According to the fire service, the blaze took far longer to bring under control because firefighters struggled to access water. The service is therefore urging factories to provide boreholes as an essential backup for firefighting. We'll hear from the Ghana National Fire Service shortly, but first, my colleague Maxwell Klobotu was at the scene and has filed this report.
A day when workers were expecting new wages has instead been filled with bitterness and disappointment as they woke up to the heartbreaking news of a fire outbreak at Chakea, a plastic manufacturing factory in the Wejakbawe Municipal Assembly. Ajua Nkansa is a single mother.
I was in the house and there was a taxi driver who used to bring me in the morning. So he came around 5 o'clock, so your company is burning. So I thought, he used to joke with me. So I thought it was lying, so I took my everything. And I came and I saw that it's true, it was burning.
For Joyce, her story is no different. Also a mother of one, she didn't believe the news when she first heard it. She had to come see it for herself.
As single mothers, we are really tired. I woke up this morning preparing to come to work when I received the call that there had been a fire outbreak at the company. This has really disturbed us.
Edward, one of the male workers, also shared a similar story. Managing Director of Chakea Plastic Company, Hajia Gloria, says everything is gone just a few hours after celebrating her birthday.
But their fire tanker was only one, and they started by trying to quench the fire, but unfortunately it kept on spreading because there was not enough water. As you can see, everything is burnt to ashes. In fact, yesterday was my birthday, so we were trying to, so the evening section had a free day.
As the smoke settles over Chakea, dozens of workers, many of them single mothers, are left staring at an uncertain future.
Joining us via Zoom is the Greater Accra Regional Fire Commander of the Ghana National Fire Service, ACFO 2, Rashid Insau. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Commander, what's the update on the investigation into the cause of the inferno, this particular one?
Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to your cherished viewers. As it stands, we've deployed intelligence on the ground to gather intelligence on the cause of the fire. But as you know, no fire that has erupted that the victims will openly come out and tell you what they were doing or what happened before the fire erupted. So we need to go underground to uncover all fire victims. No fire victim will come voluntarily and tell you what he or she did wrong for the fire to come to occur. Because you bear with me that if all things were equal and everything was okay, this factory wouldn't have been razed down by fire. So as it stands, I've deployed intelligence on the ground, and very soon, by the time we complete our fire report, we'll have unraveled the circumstances leading to the cause of the fire.
The managing director of the place says that the fire service came with just one water source, one water tanker. If this is the case, then it will mean that, is it the fact that we didn't have enough tankers to deploy, or it was genuinely the case of Ghana Water not supplying water? What's the real situation?
So what she just said, I was listening to her, tells you that unfortunately she didn't go through the rudiments of the establishment of a factory. Because indeed, you have established a factory, you have gone through the procedures for the establishment of the factory, you will know that it is a requirement in line with provision in LI 1724, Fire Precaution Premises Regulations 2003. You are enjoined by law to provide a fire hydrant right there for firefighting purposes, but because you have to foresee that these things are things that are likely to occur. So the lawmakers of this Republic of Ghana, since as far back as 2003, foresaw that one day there could be fires in factories, and for that matter, have made it a mandatory requirement that you should have a dedicated hydrant for fighting fire, and that will be a source of what? Water for firefighting. So if she said that we came there with only one truck, yes, if the car arrives, the idea is that the tender cannot carry water and fight fire for good 8 hours, from 03:27 hours to the time we extinguish it at 11:02 hours. There is no car in this world that can carry water to that extent. So it presupposes that we were expecting that that factory will have a dedicated hydrant that we can connect to. As we are discharging from what we brought, we'll be refilling from the hydrant. And it was because of lack of water at the factory, we had to call in for assistance. Medina came in, Wager was there, industrial area was there. We called, I was the one calling the cars. I called as many as 8 fire engines, called the regional coordinating director, got a tanker from the regional coordinating council, called the MCE for Wager, got one tanker from the Wager Municipal Assembly. These people are all living witnesses that you can inquire. So they have to, those people who want to be in business should know that Ghana National Fire Service should be seen as a partner in development, that they can contact us to show them what to do to preserve and protect their investments.
What's the enforcement measures? Of course, this is enjoined by law, as you have just been saying. What's the enforcement measures?
So now that this thing has occurred, even before this, you see, I have gathered some statistics in the last quarter, and I've realized that most of these fires that we are getting is occurring from other warehouses or factories. If you give me 1 minute, the Kumasi fire started in a warehouse. The China City started in a warehouse. The one that we had just the Saturday was in a factory. The one behind in the premises of Dignitary Do the Right Thing started in the warehouse. The Kantamanto one started in the warehouse. I can go on and on and on. So because of that, I have already sent out letters to the my district fire commanders to serve factories and serve businesses and warehouses around that environment, so that we will come round, do fire risk assessment, do recommendations, give them recommendations on what to do. Those that do not have hydrants, those do not have assembling points. And it would interest you to know that some of these businesses even exist without fire certificates, so that we'll take them on and make sure that their investment is protected.
Now, also finally and quickly, you're requesting that companies and factories such as this one would have a water source, borehole, and the likes?
Yeah, I suggested this because, you see, you can bear with me, you are a Ghanaian, and I'm also a Ghanaian. Water, even to wash at home and cook, sometimes is a problem, because you open your taps, the water is not flowing. Why? Because Ghana Water Company, for whatever reasons, cannot supply you water. And if this happens and your hydrant is connected, normally hydrants are connected on Ghana Water Company water mains. So if it's connected to water mains and the taps are not flowing, it presupposes that when we open the hydrant at that point in time, we will not get water for firefighting. So because of that, as a plan B, my advice to business owners, factories and other people who have investments to protect against fire, they should construct boreholes, mechanize these boreholes, contact us, we tell them, show them what to do, so that we can access water for firefighting purposes 24 hours, 7 days in a week.
Okay.
And the supply of water will not even be relied on by Ghana Water Company. That is my advice.
Thank you so much for joining us on the news this afternoon. Away from the Ghana National Fire Service, the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection have launched investigations into all incidents of violence and abuse recorded in the last few days. Social media has been awash with a number of viral videos, especially one which captured a 32-year-old Harriet Amuzu physically assaulted by her ex-husband. James Aveji captures the incidents in the following report, plus the latest from the Gender Ministry.
In the last 7 days alone, the Ghana Police Service have arrested 3 men in relation to 3 separate violence and abuse cases. Before this was the arrest of a football coach, Ibrahim Anyas, for allegedly sodomizing a 16-year-old young football star, Ransford Owusu-Ansah, who was placed under his care at the Siano Football Academy in Amasaman. The victim, according to police, reportedly died of liver and kidney complications shortly after the incident in February. Before the dust could settle, a video popped up on social media capturing a woman being physically assaulted by a man later identified as Odate Lamte, ex-husband of Harriet Amuzu. The Gender Minister, Dr. Agnes Namu-Mulate, in an interview with Blessed Soga on Prime Insight, said Harriet is fine and receiving the needed support as they are in search for her children.
We sent her to a safe place where we commenced a psychosocial support for her. She's safe now, assisting with the investigations, and hopefully we'll have some conclusion to that. And what we're doing now is trying to, anybody with any information on the whereabouts of the children, it's been difficult.
On November 21, the police arrested another suspect, 54-year-old Isaac Adonting for allegedly beating his 13-year-old daughter to death over food. The deceased mother wants justice for her daughter. In another update on Friday, the police have announced the arrest of one Samuel Obing, captured in a video giving cigarette to a child believed to be 2 years old. The incident, according to police, happened some 5 years ago. In the Ashanti region, a nanny is also in the grips of the police for allegedly pouring hot water on a 9-year-old in Duase. The Gender Ministry, in the latest update, commended the public for bringing such incident to the attention of authorities, as the ministry assured investigations are ongoing into the cases to put the perpetrators to book. James Savage's report for Joy News.
Now, away from those chilling accounts, let's get you ready for Christmas. And as the Christmas shopping rush sweeps through Ghana's markets, an unsettling truth lurks behind the festive cheer. Expiry dates, once a trusted safeguard, can no longer be taken at face value. Joy News checks at Makola Market in Accra have uncovered traders altering expiry dates on beverages and food products before selling them to unsuspected consumers. The Food and Drugs Authority has confirmed the practice and is warning the public to remain vigilant when purchasing food items this festive season. Here is Angela Lower's report read to you.
In the bustling shares of Accra's biggest market, Makola lurks an open secret, one that poses a grave public health threat. Some traders are altering expiry dates on consumable products before reselling them to the unsuspecting public. Their motive is simply hinged on making more profit. Speaking to Joy News, a trader at Makola Market who pleaded on anonymity revealed the reason behind the actions of his colleague.
You can't go and buy the things and then after do what? Throw them away. So these market women, they bring the goods to them. At times, they use spirit, retarder, kerosene, any good solvent that can clean this date. Are you getting it? There are a lot of places that they do that, especially at Christmas like this. Needle. If it gets expired, they used to do masque. What will you do? You can't do it because the woman selling the masque, she can't go and buy Nandari box. So you have to buy the expired one and use it to match it. So if you don't drink, your brother will drink.
Several vendors also expressed concerns about high inventory levels coupled with low sales, resulting in many products nearing their expiration date while still in stock. Consequently, vendors admit to selling goods that are only 2 to 3 months away from expiration.
For some time, you see, the goods that we are selling have some maybe 1 year interval, maybe expiring date. So once you buy them, you just check the dates that maybe, oh, it's expiring around maybe next year, early next year. So maybe once you are getting close to the Christmas, maybe you are going to reduce it low as you bought it. Because maybe you bought it at 500 cedis. You have to reduce it to 400 cedis for someone to buy so that the person will somehow sell it cheaper so that it will move.
When you go for the items, the retailer thinks it's just 3 months to expiration, but the goods are not bought on time. I bought things from a wholesaler who refused to take them back despite the fact that the goods have expired. The government should come with people to check the shops of the wholesalers.
While some consumers say they check expiry dates before purchasing, others admit they do not.
Mostly I check and then I'll have to clarify some things on the item that I'm buying. That is about the date. That is left with, let's say, 1 year more to expire.
I know the price of certain things like Betamot. I know it's sold for 12 cedis, and then all of a sudden they are selling it for 5 cedis. It means that it has expired, and then they've changed the date and they're trying to clear the sale. So I won't buy.
I normally don't check it at all. I don't. When doing Christmas, they do that because some of them have a way of removing the expiring date and do it. Even rice, some people back rice and even put local rice and foreign rice together.
The principal regulatory officer of food enforcement at the Food and Drugs Authority, Joyce Edu, confirmed the worrying practices being adopted by these traders. She urged consumers to remain vigilant during the Christmas season.
On our schedule, we organize surveillance checks or inspections of retail markets shops and supermarkets, etc. So along the line, we chanced on some of these products and we get them disposed of or destroyed. But then I will treat consumers. If you are buying anything, especially around this Christmas period, you have to be vigilant and look out for the date of expiry of the product. Sometimes companies or shops, in their bid to offload some of their products, will just reduce the prices, knowing that they have limited time for the product to go bad or to expire. So they just offer them for sale. So they should be vigilant.
Angela Lawes reports, read to you.
The local businesses in Mankasim are grinding to a halt as Parliament delays the rectification of Ghana's first lithium project. Sales are dropping and the informal workers who were counting on Ewoya lithium project's ripple effects are now feeling the pinch. Abena Anani, a fancy kinky seller, is left to chase the few customers she can find. For her and many others, every day Parliament waits, their livelihoods wait with it. Emmanuel Javenu has more in this week's episode of our series, Hope on Pause, the Lithium Promise.
Every day at the Mankasim runabout, Abena Anan runs for survival. She chases cars with bags of fantikinki, hoping someone inside will roll down a window with a few CDs to spare.
I saw Babam, there be a workers in Biffy, Kumase, Biffy Accra, Biffy Cape, Winneba, Pamanade. Oba be Jumana, Sabi Obedi, in the Sanasuna age of Fancy Doconoa, Oba Baba Toby, Oba Toby, baby Bogua, what on a fish nade, on your be on a pony, your be unwide and ready. I the mamma's business in a bocosol.
But for 2 years since the lease was signed, Parliament has still not ratified the project, and in communities like Mankasim, the delay is choking the local economy before it even begins. For drivers like Gideon, when Atlantic Lithium began prospecting, his taxi rarely rested.
It was helping the youth and we the drivers as well. So they will come, take us to our place, take us to this place. Sometimes you'll be at the station for about 30 minutes, 1 hour. Just look at right now, I'm loading. Nobody is in.
The Ewoya lithium project was expected to anchor at least 2,700 indirect jobs: transport, food vendors, accommodation, construction and commerce. But the delay in parliamentary approval has left those jobs suspended. Go. Few meters away from the Mankasim runabout, the ripple effect of the Ewoya lithium project was supposed to start here, in construction yards like Prince Labi's.
The delay of the coming on of the mine is a worry to this business. It has, in a way, delayed the boosting of the sales I was expecting.
I'm telling everybody who has a role to play so that Parliament ratifies this lease to do it for us. Our people are going to be happy.
For Abena, every day the project delays means fewer cars, fewer customers, fewer chances. She may never step foot on the mine, but her life is tied to it all the same.
Yes, I'm paying for no more Parliament in there. Say, you no more, I'm paying for, and the same shade you manage fine, dear. Yes, Slam, I'm juntum, no more my yen, I won't tie. Eka cry, eka canoye, Sicania than Eba.
The Ewoya lithium project promised a new economic dawn, a chain of livelihoods stretching from hawkers to taxi drivers to traders and artisans. But until Parliament acts, their hopes will remain on pause. Emmanuel Chivenu, Joy News, Mankasim, Central Region.
You're watching news today. Please stay for sports.
We bring you sports now on Joy News today with me, Muftau Nabila Abda. The Ghana Football Association has charged Kumasi Asante Kotoko for what they describe as misconduct following a post on social media by the club that the football governing body says incites fans and brings the image of the game into disrepute. And in fact, this is an earlier statement when Kumasi Asante Kotoko played Samatex. This was in November 2025, and in November 2024 and November 2025, the Porcupine Warriors once again have been charged by the Ghana Football Association for a post on social media. The GFA says brings the image of Ghana football into disrepute, and they've been given up to Wednesday, November 26, to respond to the charges that have been leveled against them by the prosecutor of the Ghana Football Association. The statement was released a few minutes ago, and the details of that statement is on myjoyonline.com. Up next is Showbiz.
And it's time now for Showbiz. I am Lois Shola Adeyemi. Let's get into our stories. And now we turn our spotlight on Africa's biggest celebration of excellence, the EMI Africa Awards. From business titans to Sam Jonah taking top honors, to music sensation Kim Promise sweeping the stage as Man of the Year in music. And the 2025 edition delivered glitz, power, and unforgettable moments. Here's how the continent's finest lit up the night.
Exclusive Men of the Year Emmy Africa Awards is the continent's premier platform for celebrating men of vision, influence and impact alongside outstanding women who excel in their fields. Each year, the awards honor leadership, innovation, service and excellence across 28 categories. And in 2025, all of that came together in a night of class, color and celebration. The Infantipim Old Boys Association earned Group of the Year for their contributions to education and community development.
Thank you. On behalf of EMY Awards, I'd like to thank the organizers and everybody else who has been supporting us.
Also honored on the night was the president of the Ghana Journalists Association, Albert Kwabna Jumfo, who received this year's PAV Ansa Communicator Award.
This is the doing of the Lord, and I must say that I'm humbled by this recognition. We are only serving our motherland.
This year's special recognition award went to businessman and philanthropist Dr. Osei Kwame Despite.
Despite Media Group, congratulations, Dr. Osei Kwame Despite. We love you.
Other notable winners included Dr. Akin Faminu, Man of Style, Richard Niyamakwe, Young Achiever Male, Kim Promise, Man of the Year Music, Tapelo Makwena, Actor of the Year, and Gilbert Ampia, Man of Courage.
I really appreciate this award, and I would like to thank my parents, especially my mother. She's been so grateful to me.
Largely focused on celebrating outstanding men, the Emmy Awards also honored exceptional women making remarkable impact. This year, Afi Amoro, CEO of Jandel Events, took home the coveted Woman of the Year award.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you deeply honored to receive the Woman of the Year Africa Award at this remarkable 10th anniversary celebration of the EMY Africa Awards.
And finally, the night built up to its biggest moment, the announcement of the ultimate Man of the Year. Sir Sam Jonah received the ceremony's top honor, recognized for his decades-long influence in business, leadership excellence is worth celebrating and impact never goes unnoticed.
Well, moving away from that, on Saturday, Palms Convention Center became a vibrant showcase of Ghanaian excellence, from dazzling cultural displays to sharp high-stakes intellectual battles. 10 remarkable young women took the stage with grace and grit. But by the end of the spectacle, it was 20-year-old University of Ghana student Akosia Ahin who rose above the rest, securing the Miss Malika 2025 Ghana title crown in a final that celebrated beauty, brilliance, and the rising power of Ghana's next generation of women. Well, that's how we wrap up Showbiz. I am Loishola Adeyemi. For more Showbiz stories, do log on to myjoyonline.com. Over to you, MFA.
Thank you so much, Shola. Well, after we're done with the website, we'll wait for you tomorrow to bring us more. Thank you.
Right. Okay.
That'll be all for the bulletin. MFA Kosiadeti. For more news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. Thank you for watching.